Welcome to One Pocket, a game of controlled aggression. My name is Tom Worth, and this video is going to be all about last ball safeties. Most of my videos are all about the offensive side of the game. Today, we're going to be talking about the defensive side of the game. It would be nice if every time we stepped to the table, we had an offensive shot, but the reality is, sometimes it just isn't there. There are 24 short clips to this video. In each situation, you're the shooter and your pocket is to the lower right. From situation to situation, you should see patterns develop. In most cases, the cue ball is left close to the foot rail and the object ball is up in the opposite corner. So, if you're ready, here's situation number one. This shot is accomplished with a 1 o'clock hit on the cue ball and a fairly full hit on the object ball. Situation number two. With the cue ball on the same side of the table as the object ball, I was now able to use inside English and hit on the right side of the object ball. I'm sure you noticed I had just enough room on the foot rail to keep the cue ball from scratching. Situation 3. This time the object ball was just a little too close to the side rail. I wasn't comfortable hitting on the right side of the 3-ball this time, therefore I hit to the left and brought the cue ball around with left-hand English back to the same side of the table that it started from. Notice that I kept the object ball above the cue ball. This eliminated any possibility of a bank from my opponent. Situation 4. With a touch of right-hand English and a foot rail first kick, I can send the object ball up table and to my side. You'll notice that the cue ball came up the table somewhat, but as long as the object ball got into a safe zone, all is well. Situation 5. From this angle, it's very easy to get behind the ball. You have to be careful not to get too far behind the ball and send the object ball straight up the same side rail. Should that happen, you'll surely sell out an easy bank. Situation 6. This time, the object ball was too far from the foot rail to play the kick. Instead, just a thin hit on the object ball with no English sends the cue ball back up table and the object ball to your side. Situation 7. This is basically the same shot, but you must hit the ball very thinly to avoid a double kiss. Again, there's very little that your opponent can do to hurt you from here. It's basically just getting the ball into a neutral position. Situation 8. Here, the object ball was frozen to the side rail. That eliminates the possibility of a crossover. I did have an angle where I could drive the cue ball into the object ball, sending the object ball straight up the table and stopping the cue ball. But that's likely to send the object ball 3 rails over to your opponent's side of the table, possibly giving him a free bank. It's better to just roll through the 3 ball, keeping the object ball on your side of the table and the cue ball on your opponent's side. Situation 9. Notice that I went rail first on this shot. I also used a little bit of right hand English. That helped hold the cue ball, and it also helped spread the object ball a little wider, getting it on my side of the table a little easier. Situation 10. This is an alternative way of playing the shot you saw in situation number 9. In this case, a little draw on the cue ball will help. Situation 11. As long as you have approximately half the width of a ball between the edge of the object ball and the cushion, you can play a controlled double kiss. A nice thin hit on the object ball and a little bit of outside English will do the trick. Situation 12. It's worth showing this controlled double kiss again, this time from the footrail side. Situation 13. A simple rail first hit with inside English and not hit too hard does the trick. Situation 14. This is that same rail first stop shot that you saw in situation 10. This time I used the foot rail. Situation 15. There are two ways of playing this takeout. One way would have been to play with a stop shot and take the ball out with a full hit. That would have left the cue ball close to the foot rail. In this case, because the cue ball was so close to the head rail, I decided to hit the ball with a follow stroke with a little bit of right hand English. This way, I leave the cue ball and the object ball on opposite sides of the table, leaving no banks. Situation 16. Again, a full hit-stop shot on the object ball would have done the trick, but an easier way to do this is to go 2 rails and kick behind the ball. I use this method when the object ball is a little further away from the foot rail and a little further away from the side rail than what we saw in one of the earlier situations. Situation 17. This clearing shot couldn't be more simple, but be sure not to overhit the ball. A nice, gentle hit is all it takes. Situation 18. In this situation, the angle was too flat. Therefore, I just spun the cue ball with a little bit of right-hand English in the right side of the ball and just brought both balls to my side of the table. Situation 19. When playing this safety, it's important not to leave the object ball on the head rail. Get it over towards the side rail where your opponent won't have a 2-rail bank towards his pocket. Situation 20. This time I kicked behind the object ball. This is just another way of accomplishing the same thing. Situation 21. I like going rail first in a situation like this. There's less risk. Situation 22. Again, the rail first hit is easier to control, but you must be careful. If the object ball is frozen on the head rail, it's easy to get a double kiss and scratch. Situation 23. Just spin off the right side of the object ball, bringing it to your side of the table and the cue ball towards the footrail. Situation 24. The goal is the same in this situation, but this time it's accomplished by using inside English. This has been Tom Worth for One Pocket, a game of controlled aggression. If you'd like a copy of my book, just contact me at trworth369@gmail.com. Thank you.